Thank you very much, Dash. Laure here. This wraps up first day of group stage here, and I have bwipo to talk about the first game, fnatic versus TSM. Thank you, bwipo, for joining me. We saw you giggle during the game, especially during the top lane plays, but how was it for you, this first game?
I mean, it was a roller coaster because the first time I got the 2v1 kill and I was like laughing my ass off. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, look at these guys trying to gank me. And then Syndra TP'd on my lane, and then I died. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep laughing because I don't want to show them that I lost mental. And then my jungler got 2v1 killed in return, and then I was like, okay, there's no way I can keep my mental even if I stop laughing, the mental is already lost. So everything but that, I had a really fun game though.
It was a super fun game to watch, and I mean, you won rather convincingly, even if it was a lot of kill trading here. But I mean, last time we saw you was after summer finals. You spent 2 weeks in quarantine in China. So how did it go? We didn't hear much from you, except on social media.
Oh, it was like pretty good, honestly. I got to revise some of my gameplay. I got to experience some of the Chinese solo queue, Chinese picks, try to mimic their aggression. I mean, it does hit close to home for me. So all things considered, the quarantine was quite comfortable for me. And, you know, I have my girlfriend to thank for that. And in general, it was just a great experience. I kept my sanity through the process. And eventually, well, hopefully I'll keep performing like today.
I am glad you mentioned the girlfriend buff here, because that's something we heard about during quarantine. But okay, moving on to the game, we heard a lot that this meta favors fnatic in the sense that you play a lot of picks that are playable right now. Do you agree here?
I think when it comes to a farming style, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you're farming junglers, you have the Evelyn, then Italy, the Graves. Selfmade loves those champions. And in general, I think we started like to pick this up at the start of summer playoffs.
Yeah.
So all things considered, the meta hasn't changed much since that time, and we've been trying to make it work since then. So it makes a lot of sense. Like the Lucian Eve, honestly, it's a bit surprising that it went through, given that this was our mainstay. Like, this is what we came onto the stage with our first farming jungler approach as soon as the set Volibear meta started to dwindle a little. So I think this was just like a comfort game for us. I don't think it was as clean as we could have made it, but all things considered, it was an alright game. I mean, we take those, right?
Yeah, we take those, and we'll see how TSM bounce back during the next game. But I mean, looking at the group, we heard that this one was the group of death. Do you still have the same feeling after seeing all the teams competing here today?
It's a group of death in the sense that anyone can make it out. Like, I don't think it's the group of death in the sense of like every game that you play is the last one, maybe. I think that a traditional sense of the group of death is when you have 3 really strong teams and then you have 1 very weak team, and the idea that if you lose the game against the weaker team for whatever reason, your tournament is over. Like, you have to beat the best teams twice in a row to come back after losing once to one of the weaker teams, and that is, in my idea, what the actual group of death is. But it still is a group of death in the idea that anyone can make it out. So it's up to your definition.
All right, well, we'll see how things develop in the next coming days. But bwipo, thank you very much for the interview, and congrats on this first game against TSM.
Thank you very much.
And back to you, Dash.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Laure. And bwipo, one of my favorite players to watch from a personality standpoint, both on the Rift and off. I love the reference to a number of those plays up there in the top lane that went both directions. And it felt like bwipo, and he even said it, he had the same reaction in both the